Stadium here on CCX. It's Bill Up and Sid Ligry. Proud to bring you Robbinsdale, Armstrong, and Totino-Grace. Set to kick off here. Robbinsdale, Armstrong in the red and white. Totino-Grace, of course, in the white kits with the navy blue numerals and lettering. As we are underway here from Robbinsdale, Armstrong on a beautiful night for soccer. Boys game finished 0-0. What will happen in the girls game as Totino-Grace controls the ball to start? Totino-Grace playing a 4-5-1 tonight for manager Matt Thibodeau. And there you see the starters on your screen, the defensive backfield, the strength of this Eagles squad. And they come in 1-0, ranked 9th preseason in Class A. Beat Elk River at home 4-0 the other night. So good start for the Eagles, and they are on the front foot to start things here.
Nice penetration.
Cleared by Armstrong. And they're the Robbinsdale Armstrong starters, the Falcons, led by manager Kari Torgerson on senior night here at Robbinsdale Armstrong. And just one of many things strange about this season, senior night happening so early in the year, as Cecilia Savard plays it square for Kira Laney, who had 2 goals in that win over Elk River the other night. And Sig, this is what Totino-Grace is going to try to do, control play in the midfield.
Yeah, this has been Coach Matt Thibodeau's kind of historic move. Control the ball, move it as best you can, and then go for the setups and then take your shot.
And anytime you have 5 in the midfield, that's definitely what you're trying to do strategically, as Terhar forces the throw in on the far side. We're a minute and a half in here on CCX, scoreless between Totino-Grace and Robbinsdale Armstrong. A Northwest Suburban Conference matchup. Cross is cut out but not cleared. Left-footed shot, and it's handled comfortably by junior goaltender Sydney Smith.
And not able to get much on that one, kind of turned and shot with her left foot. But still on goal, easy play for the keeper.
So first recorded shot on target is that pass just out of the reach of number 29, Sarah Osborne, and so it'll be a throw for Savard on the near side. And Matt Thibodeau, as you see him looking on, and it's a tough field for coaches when you're sitting on the visitor's sideline staring into that sun.
Yeah, normally both teams are on the near side, but because of the pandemic, everybody has to be spread apart, so the visiting teams are on the far side of the field. But the good news is the sun's almost down behind the stadium, and he'll be able to see better.
Yeah, it'll set probably about midway through this game, but a tough position for fans and coaches of the visitors thus far. And it'll be interesting to see the substitutions as well. Totino-Grace, not as large a squad as Armstrong, but plenty of depth, and Coach Thibodeau plans to use it. As Emma Lehman, senior goalkeeper, gets rid of it under pressure. And now Lydia Bierantz loses it. Battle for it in the final third. On the turn, Libby Plath, senior midfielder, loses it. But it's going to be a throw to the Falcons on the near side. As Mary Blaska shares a laugh with Savard.
Well, they're out there having a good time. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and the game's coming thick and fast as it's their second game in a couple days. They had a game on Monday. The opener was Monday, and then turned right around and play on Wednesday. That runs out of bounds, and so it'll be a goal kick to the Eagles.
Well, it's interesting because you talk to some of the coaches. It's a mixed bag of, yeah, we're only playing 11 games, but we're not playing 3 games a week. So that gives them time for more practice, also gives the players a little bit more time to recuperate from the dings and bumps that they get in this game.
Yeah, no question.
Everybody knows that this is it's a contact sport. I don't care what the rules say. There's a lot of contact goes on in this game of soccer.
Bierantz turning away from the pressure of Rory Benson. Plays it square through the midfield, and yet Coach Thibodeau talked about the fact that it's a Tuesday. It used to be a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday last year, and the games really, and just you had no time to recover. Every practice was between games was just a recovery period.
Exactly. So I think most coaches are going to say, hey, you know what? This is not a bad setup.
Fewer games, but yeah, more rest time for the players. TG controlling possession early going here.
They're moving the ball around well. Just now they're taking a shot to the center, try to get something up the middle, but the Armstrong defense is right there to swap that one away.
Freshman Ella Picca steps to it, anticipates it well, and
not only kicked it off the touchline, it kicked it right off the coach.
Ella Kari Torgerson standing on the touchline, directing traffic. And she took over last year in June, so didn't really have time to acclimate to her team. And she was telling me before the game that the team really started to gel at the end of last year, and that's carried over into this year. They opened with a 2-0 win over Coon Rapids, matching their win total from last year. And they've got some really talented youngsters, and we just saw one in Ella Picca. Bella Bocock, another one that will see some time. So future looking bright for the Robbinsdale Armstrong soccer program.
Yeah, if they can pick up a win here, it would be off to a great start, but they have to get past the Totino-Grace Eagles, and they have a very storied program.
They sure do, as number 20, Emily Ling, who also scored against Elk River on Monday, plays it for Laney. Worked side to side by the blue and white. Back to Laney, nice turn.
Good moves, good passing, I like this. Moving the ball well.
Yep, side to side and just being difficult to defend and not over dribbling, which is sometimes what you see in high school soccer. Picked up by Celia Savard.
Yeah, I prefer the one-touch, two-touch.
Laney tries to play it in the channel and has her pass intercepted, well read. And the Falcons able to clear. Controlled right in front of the bench by Rosie Turrison. Junior defender. A lot of juniors on this Eagles team, so Coach Thibodeau, if he can keep this squad together, figures to be tough for the next couple years. As we said, they came in preseason number 9 in Class A. Now they're on the attack again. Played wide for Bierantz. Bierantz cuts on onto her left foot on the outside. Bierantz trying to get to the touchline. She's defended well there, forced to the corner, and Totino-Grace will have a throw.
Good ball control that time, shielding off the defender and getting a throw out of it.
Savard comes up to take the throw. Just about 8 minutes into this first half. Drop back to Ling. Savard plays it square for Laney. Laney, I thought, wanted to play a through ball, well defended, and cleared by the Falcons. Laney again. There's a shot on target, and it's saved comfortably by Smith. Lauren Miller took that attempt, the senior midi. But Totino-Grace definitely on the front foot, as you see Sydney Smith, the junior.
Yeah, they're definitely controlling the ball. They're possessing well. They haven't really given the Armstrong Falcons an opportunity to get past midfield much.
No, they're just sticking to pretty tight triangles. That's a well-read pass, but Laney able to recover for Totino-Grace.
Yep, and smart. Move back.
Regroup.
Switch fields if you have to. Oh, I thought they were going to switch field, but
I thought so too. I thought it was coming near side for Savard. Instead, it'll be played maybe Totino-Grace a bit too narrow, and you're obviously more easy to defend, Sig, when you're not that narrow attacking.
Oh, absolutely.
First foul of the game called, and so this sets Totino-Grace up with a free kick in a dangerous area.
About 41 and a half yards out. And all the players are huddling over on the right side. They'll move as soon as the ball is struck, and there we go. It goes right to a forward.
Savard, far post, and there was nothing but white jerseys there.
Unfortunately, they were on the other side of the defense, or offside.
And each team, they played their first game this season on Monday. Armstrong, as we said, both teams pitching a shutout to Totino-Grace over Elk River, and Armstrong downing Coon Rapids on the road. So
good starts for both of them.
Good starts, especially defensively for both teams. And as we said, Armstrong, the wins were hard to come by last season, so that's such a confidence boost, right? When you can get those early season wins for a young team.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they finished the season fairly strong last year, and then they come back and they pick up where they left off. That's a good sign.
Last season, Totino-Grace downed Armstrong 3-0 in their meeting at Totino-Grace. That runs out of play, so that'll be a goal kick for Armstrong. But Sig, when you have a young team, you are going to take your lumps as Lauren Jones trots onto the field, sophomore striker. And your programs is 33, but actually wearing 39.
Okay.
We were just informed.
No wonder I couldn't find her.
Totino-Grace again on the front foot, and this time Smith comes off her line to collect. .50-50 ball. Well,
it ends up
run out of play in front of the Armstrong bench. Getting there first is Mary Blaska. Up for Beerance.
Oh, was that a nice pass?
Very nice pass.
Oh, try hard to get a breakaway up the middle, but the defender was right there to stop it.
Caitlin Brandt tried to run onto that ball. This time Laney comes up with it, tracked down by Jones. And again, Armstrong just unable to get a foothold thus far in the midfield. And they're content to sit back, Sig, it seems like, and keep their shape.
Yeah, they're maintaining their three defenders. It switches between 3 and 4 from what I can tell so far. Here's Armstrong on the move.
Yep, Armstrong looking to counter. Played on back and intercepted well by Kayla Terhar, sophomore. Jones on the turn, Bella Bocock, the freshman, as we talked about. We'll see some freshman contributors. And some sophomores, a lot of good underclassmen as Laney plays it wide, her pass intercepted. Middle for Maddie Orstad. Up for Jones, cut out nicely by Savard. She switches far side. And now they'll look to counter. Molly Vance drops it back. Played middle. That pass cut out by number 6, Jenna Bloom, one of the 3 co-captains on this Armstrong team. And it's knocked out of play. I believe that's going to be an Eagles throw. Absolutely beautiful night for soccer.
It is absolutely gorgeous. About 79 degrees. Dew point is 48. Wind coming out west-northwest. It was about 9 miles an hour. I think it's a little less than that now.
It's when we were treated to a very entertaining boys game right before this on CCX.
It was back and forth, a lot of activity, a lot of action, good fast pace, but nobody can get.
Yeah, no goals.
No goals.
A missed penalty.
The missed PK was yeah, that was pretty amazing because the keeper had gone to one direction, the player had gone, guessed correctly and gone to the other direction and missed just outside the upright post.
And it was high drama because the keeper, remember, got a yellow card. Their original keeper had to go off, so it was backup keeper.
Yeah, and the backup keeper had just joined the team today.
Really? Wow.
From what I was told.
Wow.
So no pressure, huh?
Yeah, come on and do your thing.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you're not doing anything, you want to stop a penalty kick?
here's a goalie kit. Yeah. No, they.
It was exciting.
Yeah, high drama, well played by both teams. And Armstrong's regular goalie actually made some huge stops, coming off his line and closing down a couple times to make some big saves.
Yeah, that was Aguado. He was my star of the game.
Yep. Proverbial man of the match as Laney drops it back for Beerance.
And I think what impressed us when we were calling the game was how calm and relaxed he was. But anyway, we have a different set of circumstances here as Totino-Grace is doing a pretty good job of moving the ball, not trying the far side.
Yep, just love it. Trying to attack down that right wing. It's centered and cut out.
You know, that's not
a half volley.
That's not a, I thought that was a handball. Yep. That's not.
Bella Bocock couldn't quite control it. And so eventually it is cleared by Armstrong, but definitely Totino seemingly liking to play down that right wing.
Yes, they do. See if that changes. Maybe they'll draw the defense out a little bit to the right side and then open up something on either the middle or the left.
Savard again playing those tight triangles.
Nice give and go. It didn't quite connect.
Laney, middle for Ling. Plays it up, one-touch pass, looking for a cutting Molly Vance. It's cut out, but not cleared, as Laney will once again go on the attack. Celia Laney tries to play a through ball, and it's cleared momentarily. Beerance again punches it forward for Vance. It's bounding, and fortunately Sydney Smith alert to it for the Falcons. And when you come off that line, you've got to be decisive as a goalkeeper. You've got to come and claim it if you're gonna come out.
Yeah, if you're gonna make that commitment, you better do it right.
Right. Sometimes, it's the he or she who hesitates is lost axiom, right? I mean,
that's the one. Oh, here's an
great
opportunity.
ball.
Just a little bit too far.
And I believe it was Ling who let it run to the wide player. Great bit of strategy there. Didn't quite come off as we are 17 minutes into the first half. Still scoreless as a substitute. Kendall Thurston returns, sophomore fullback, returns for the Falcons and replaces the freshman Ella Picca. And again, even off the goal kick, Armstrong struggling to possess. Beautiful passing. Vance on the right foot. Her shot is blocked. Follow-up shot blocked again, and this time it's booted out by the Falcons.
I think it was blocked by Vance. I should have checked before the game, but I'm wondering if Molly Vance is related to the Totino-Grace head coach Bill Vance.
Well, she's listed as a fullback, the sophomore, but she's definitely playing in a striker role. So.
Yes. I know his son Chris is the coach for the JV team.
Good job by Jenna Bloom stepping up. She plays it near side for Bella Bocock. Square for Thurston. And now this is better from Armstrong. And finally, the first foul of the game on Totino-Grace. So each team has committed a foul in a dangerous area, and Armstrong will have a free kick from roughly 40 yards out. 41, just like similar to Totino-Grace.
See the Totino-Grace defense lining up a little mini wall.
Bloom stands over it, drives it low into the wall.
Boy, they put the wall in the right place, didn't they?
Yeah, Laney among others in the three-person wall. Now Vance chasing after it, hounding Maggie McAllister.
And that's going to be a throw-in for Armstrong.
As Tori Thomas sets a return and does for the Falcons. Going to be a throw on the far side to McAllister. But Totino-Grace seems to be the faster and more physical of the two squads thus far.
I agree. They're moving the ball well, and as we said not too long ago, nice, short, crisp passes, keeping the triangle. Armstrong's going to have to figure out how to either thwart that or start jamming it so they can start jamming the passes.
Yeah, maybe not let them get as deep with that attack as So Totino-Grace has a throw.
Yeah, I would think that they would want to look at the midfield and see if they can get midfielder to obstruct the passing lane.
Lauren Miller has it stolen by McAllister.
What they have, they're aggressive, aren't they?
Yeah, well, the press is really high up, right,
Yep.
for Totino-Grace, and so they're really just trying not. And you look at the fullbacks. The fullbacks are 10 yards inside of midfield, so they're pushing up, and they're really trying to not even let Armstrong get out of their final third, or their first third.
And that's confidence in the midfield and the forward because they're still playing two back.
And indeed, talking to Coach Thibodeau before the game, he talked about how the strength of this team is its defensive backfield.
Oh,
so
yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you trust your goalie in Emma Lehman to handle things in the back and come get balls that are put into that final third. So what did Coach Thibodeau have to say when you spoke to him before the game?
Well, I didn't get much time with him. He was busy getting his team ready, but he said he felt pretty comfortable with the team. I know last year we covered them. They had very young players that were really, really good when they played Maple Grove. And Maple Grove at that time was number 2 in the state. And Totino-Grace played them to a 1-0 loss. But I was so impressed with the young defense. They had 8th graders out there and the 9th graders on defense. And they were fearless. It was wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I covered a couple Maple Grove games, and they were really, really strong as Bierance putting pressure on Picka.
Yeah, they were so powerful. I mean, they have such a solid program.
And again, just goes to show you the strength of the Northwest Suburban Conference. You talk about Centennial and Maple Grove, among others, as Vance fires off a shot, or Savard rather, and that goes wide. But a nice effort, and again, the pressure continuing to pile on for Totino-Grace as we're inside of the midway point in the first half. 18 minutes left.
So you wonder if this is going to be the kind of game where Totino-Grace keeps pressing and pressing and pressing until finally they get the break that they were looking for. There's an opportunity.
Through ball, and again, a nice job by Smith to come off her line. She bobbled it initially. Brandt was right there waiting to pounce, but Smith was decisive.
And that's what you got to have with the keeper. Not only being the quarterback back on defense, but able to keep that ball in front of her so it doesn't ricochet out or rebound out and give them another opportunity.
Totino-Grace with that press just relentless as Laney knocks it out of play. Bierance and Laney in there. Laney
what a nice
steals
move.
it from Tori Thomas, and now she plays a through ball looking for Brandt, and again it's cut out. Bierance up for Laney. And this time they decide to switch the field after attacking down the left. And the veteran midfield players, they really know, they have good intuition for when that should be. Great ball cross looking for Lydia Bierance, and she can't quite track it down, so it's a goal kick. But they are
I like that play, though.
Playing through the middle
play.
and trying to hit those crosses and time those runs.
Right. If you back up a little bit, they were going down the middle, reversed it to the outside, far side, and then brought the pass back across everybody. I thought that was pretty clever.
Kayla Terhar returns for the Eagles.
Ouch, right in the face.
Yeah, a lot of times, Sig, you talked about with these games, a lot of times it's scoreless, and then the dominant team finally breaks through, and then it rolls. And then it rolls from there, and they get.
You've seen that so many times.
I get a string of goals. It was 1-1 in the game that I worked last night, and then the team scored 3 goals in the final 13 minutes of the first half, and all of a sudden it was 4-1 at halftime. So
ouch. Yeah, that
rains it pours sometimes.
Yeah, and that really deflates the team that's on the wrong end of the score.
Yeah, no question. Savard again trying to go through the middle. Good job by Jenna Bloom, senior fullback. Still in the possession of the Eagles as Bierance charges through the middle. Bloom can't knock her off the ball, and there Bloom just absolutely hip checks. That was Ling and took the worst of that, so it's a free kick again in a dangerous position as you see here.
Again.
And Bloom just comes over. Not quite a tactical foul, but it certainly looked like it could have been one.
Well, that's a good play in hockey, but not in soccer.
Yeah. So again, Savard's going to stand over it. 3-player wall in front of her.
29 yards out, almost dead center.
And this is kind of you can either punch it to the far post or go for it yourself. She'll go for it, and it goes over the goal. Couldn't quite bring it down from that distance, but plenty of power from Cecilia Savard. Just a sophomore. Handful of sophomore contributors, including Vance and Savard and Terhar and Ling. So certainly, we talked about bright futures. Certainly Totino-Grace, a pretty well-stocked program for Coach Matt Thibodeau. Speaking of Ling, she ushers that out of play, and she'll take the quick throw for Totino-Grace. Just 11 games in the regular season, as we talked about with this kind of shortened season. It's what every Northwest Suburban Conference team is playing, 11, so. Cleared by Bloom. Drop back for Ling. Middle for Terhar, and then cut out. Recovered nicely in Laney. Gives it for Terhar, wide for Vance. Drop back for Terhar, nicely cut out by Allison Pohl. And it'll run out for a goal kick. So still scoreless here for all of Totino-Grace's pressure and possession. Have not cracked the scoreboard yet. Armstrong, a lot of red jerseys behind the ball and defending resolutely so far.
And we're talking about the advantage so far for the Eagles. They have 5 shots, 2 on goal for 40% shot on goal percentage. But the big thing is time of possession.
Yep, and the Eagles have certainly dominated that as they'll have another throw. Ling and McAllister sends that one to safety.
And we'll try that one again. So the other thing in those, they don't waste any time getting those throw-ins back into the play.
Now, quick restarts for sure, as again, McAllister does the wise thing. And certain teams, especially it seems like Armstrong, content to play it out and regroup defensively, defend a throw-in. Vance trying to get space for a shot. Her shot's deflected down. Played middle. Terhar with a left-footed shot. Not much on it, so a comfortable save for Sydney Smith.
Yeah, she couldn't control it long enough to get that left foot back far enough to get a good hard shot. But
some sweet feet right there from Kiera Laney to avoid the danger and then play it wide. She is so creative in that midfield position. There's a Ling directing traffic. Emily Ling, first corner of the game for either team.
See what she can do with it. Right-footed, so it'll tend to come out further from the goal area, and it does.
Outswinging corner. And Ava Morelik gets there first, but it goes right back to TG. Savard in that case, and Sydney Smith comes out and collects it at a near post. And again, you know, the old saying, pressure bursts pipes, and if you get enough corners and enough shots and enough, I mean, that doesn't always apply in soccer, but very often you'll find a crack eventually.
Mathematically, it works out that way. If you keep giving up corners and set plays, eventually you're going to get burned.
Yep, no question. Savard for Bierance. Savard on the overlap. Nice back heel.
Yeah, I like that. Nice.
Savard looking for a cross instead go near post and
that could have been
beat Sydney Smith.
Yeah, that could have been very entertaining because it was ricocheting off there. Watch this. There's a beautiful.
Yeah, lovely back heel.
And look at
Savard.
Look at this play right here. Whoa, didn't quite have it.
And I think the goaltender was anticipating the cross.
Yep.
As we have our second corner coming up. And a substitution for Robbinsdale Armstrong as Bella Bocock returns. And again, you're going to have Lydia Bierantz. Armstrong, Carrie Torgerson having a spirited discussion, which our field mics are picking up with the head referee. Now the cross comes in and it's cut out at the near post. And just not much on that cross to.
Yeah, I wonder if you topped it. Because you're right, it didn't have much on it. It kind of skipped across the surface.
Well, when you don't have big strikers, I sometimes wonder why more teams don't just play short corners.
Yeah, I don't know. That does
because you're not going to convert a header in the box necessarily. So.
And not too often.
If you don't have big strikers up front. Mary Blaska plays it square.
What brings to mind is that game we did Monday night. There was a forward who was like 18 feet tall, and he was very involved in the corners. But you're right. Sometimes if you don't have the foot and the height, go for the short pass, bring it back, and then attack from the side.
And a lot of teams, you know, they practice defending corners, but they don't necessarily practice defending short corners.
Right. Because they treat it as a regular play. Here we go.
Good ball up for Bierantz.
2-on-2.
Bierantz crosses it and it goes in.
He dribbled right underneath the keeper and went in.
Touched in by Caitlin Brandt, the junior defender. Brandt was running near post. A beautiful centering pass by Bierantz, the senior midfielder, and Brandt just got a touch to it ahead of Sydney Smith, beating the Armstrong keeper and giving Totino-Grace a 1-goal lead. And see it right here.
Right here. Nice. Up.
Great ball by Laney as well.
Just dribbles it underneath the keeper. Wow.
And
nice
she just
feed.
got a toe to it,
yeah.
As you can see here, Sig.
Just right there. She almost topped it, actually.
Cross comes into a dangerous area. Smith tries to dive on it, but Brandt gets there first and just toe pokes it underneath her into the net. So a well-worked goal and frankly a well-deserved lead for Totino-Grace as Vance has them on the attack once more. Brandt plays it wide. McAllister doing battle over there with Blaska, and it goes out of play. 7:51 and counting remaining first half and a 1-goal Eagles lead. And how about that initial pass from Laney?
Beautiful.
To play Bierantz through.
Yep. And then Bierantz, it looked like she had a little timing problem getting that left foot down, but she managed to get enough on it to get it over.
Well, if you notice, she fell over, Sig, when she hit that cross, so I wonder if she just lost her balance.
Yeah, and then hit it on the way down. Sure. And here they come again.
Bounding for Brandt. Tapped back for Savard, who cuts back inside. Savard looking for a cross. Oh, beautiful pass. Miller can't sort it out. I'm not sure how she cut between two defenders there.
I don't know how she did that.
Very impressive footwork from Miller, but she couldn't get the shot away. And a lot of times when you go through the middle.
Watch this.
Beautiful. Look at this pass.
Right through 3 players.
Yeah, and then I think Miller thought maybe there was someone crashing far post, but she really should have just wound up and taken the shot.
Right.
The collision in the midfield, and Armstrong trying to get something going offensively, some sort of offensive possession as Bloom overhits the pass for Libby Plath. Tracking back to collect Ava Morelik. Morelik being hounded by Julia Pouliot, and it's going to be a throw for Robbinsdale Armstrong, as we have substitutions for both teams upcoming.
Good look there at number 18. That's Julia Pouliot.
In fact, I think they actually called a foul on Pouliot.
Ah, okay.
So it's going to be a foul on the near side, not a throw. So Bloom stands over it. And you would think she would ask for a few more feet from the wall. Two in the wall for the Eagles.
Soccer players can't calculate 10 meters. You know?
Well, if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. So you may as well stand close. Bloom puts it into a dangerous area. It's loose in the box. Clever feet from Cecilia Savard. So skilled, the sophomore. We've seen it time and again tonight. And right there, she just niftily turned away from the danger and cleared it and allowed
number 46, Chloe Bowick.
for some space as number 46, Chloe Bowick, taking the throw. First time in the game for her. Easily identifiable in those highlighter yellow boots. And again, a foul whistled in almost the exact same position as the previous one. So Bloom will come over to take this one again inside of 5 minutes to go, first half. A little bit of a better angle this time for Bloom. She's certainly got the leg for it, and she fires it on net, and it's handled comfortably by Emma Lehman. No traffic in front. So Lehman snags it. Does not have to, hasn't technically made a save yet, Emma Lehman, but
Yeah, it was on goal.
so that is her first
Save.
the first recorded shot for Armstrong.
Yes, it is. First shot on goal. However, they are shooting 1,000%.
There you go. And now the sun has completely gone. Light's starting to take effect here at Armstrong Stadium.
Yep, it'll be a little bit gloomy. There's a foul against Armstrong, again in an undesirable place.
Foul committed by number 32, Perry Thompson. So late first half, another opportunity for Totino-Grace trying to stretch their lead.
Send this right at the
Stepped up far post, and again, we had nothing but white jerseys there, but they couldn't quite get a touch. Was Miller the one to put that in the box?
You know, when they start connecting on those passes, it's going to be tough to stop this team.
Yeah, well, you just wonder. I know defenders are staying with them on the run, but they definitely have that plan to hit it far post and try to get a redirection. Savard gets a boot to it. Now an opportunity, big collision in the midfield. Play on, says the ref, as Plath loses it to Ling. She plays it wide. Totino, they just strike me, and we've already seen it once, but the kind of team that can really hurt you on the counterattack with a number of quick, decisive passes.
Yeah, their passing game is quite superior to what I've seen so far this year.
Celia Savard cuts inside nicely. Plays it middle for Vance, or for Brandt rather. There's a shot on net. Vance crashing hard, and it goes off of number 41, Izzy Anderson, and out of play. So,
and that's a good thing for Armstrong, because number 4, Vance, was sitting there waiting for it.
Yeah, she was looming, crashing hard on that near post. So it's going to result in a corner kick once again from the far side as Miller jogs over to take it.
Now they bring in the cavalry blast that comes up. Here's a shot.
Smith
Nice grab.
claims it nicely at her near post. Again, Vance was looming.
Smith doing a good job getting the gloves on that ball.
And she has played solidly. The goal was really not her fault, and she has been one of the bright spots for Armstrong in this game so far. It's the reason she's the reason it's a one-goal game, really.
Yeah, when you consider Totino-Grace so far has 6 shots on goal, that's pretty good save percentage.
Well defended by Thompson. Vance surrounded by Thompson.
Goal kick.
And it'll be,
Should be a goal kick.
Yep, it is indeed a goal kick. Short time, first half, just about 90 seconds left. what has been an entertaining game so far. Field heavily tilted in Totino-Grace's favor. But just a 1-goal lead for the Eagles as Miller heads it middle. Pop forward, looking for Vance. McAllister tries to clear and can't. Again, they play it through central. Miller tries her hand from distance and skies it.
Final 40 seconds. Smith puts it down for the goal kick. See if they can get it out of her zone and give her teammates an opportunity to make one final thrust.
Well, and for all the possession's sake, Totino, I mean, they've had their fair share of shots, but they really haven't made Smith make any difficult saves, I would say. I mean, she's come out and they've had loads of possession and great passing interchanges, but they haven't. It hasn't converted into high quality, shot chances.
No, they've been left-footed shots that weren't quite on and were fairly easy for her to pick up, but it's still a lot of pressure.
Time expires here in the first half at Armstrong Stadium. Totino-Grace strikes midway through the first half, and they head to the break with a 1-goal lead on the road over Robbinsdale Armstrong. Going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have stats and first half analysis here from Armstrong Stadium. You are watching NWCA SC Girls Soccer right here on CCX.
Hi, I'm John Jacobson from CCX Media, and this is our production truck that we roll out of our garage hundreds of times each year. Now, we use this for corporate events, concerts in the park, and other music events, city parades, and of course, over 150 high school games here in the northwest suburbs that we televise each year. Let's go take a tour now of what this truck looks like on the inside. Now let us show you some of the equipment that is involved in putting together a TV broadcast here at CCX, starting with our video production switcher. Now this is where our director will sit during a game or an event that you may be watching online or on our channel. He'll be here pushing the buttons, switching cameras when you watch a game and see it go from one shot to another. That all happens here, where he has to punch a certain button to get to another camera or to call up a replay, bring in a graphic. All of that happens here through the production switcher. This is our video replay system that we use at CCX. Now, our replay operator will sit near the director, and he or she will be able to see all the video that were being inputted from our different cameras and be able to find the best replays. And when you watch a game and we replay a great play that just happened and analyze it on TV, it all happens here, and the replay operator has to be quick on their feet and pick out which shot is the best, and oftentimes we'll have multiple replays of a great basket or touchdown or whatever it is, and that person can see all the different replay options they have from the cameras that we have set up. They can also build video highlight packages that will run at halftime or at the end of a game or between periods of a game, depending on the sport, and other video pieces. It all happens here at the replay system. As important as video is to a television production, so too is audio. And this is the board that our audio engineers will sit at during a telecast, during one of our games. They control the mic levels and the mics themselves for the announcers of a game they might be watching. They can also play music, say under some of those replays that we talked about before, or going into a break, just by hitting a number of different music selections that we have up here. Also, any commercials that play, the audio for those commercials will play out of this board as well. So a very important component of what we do here at CCX during our productions. Our truck also supports 5 broadcast quality cameras with full control here in the truck of the color, brightness, and a variety of other things that make that video rich to you at home. Finally, this is our graphics station. This is where our graphics operator will sit during a game. bringing up graphics, say a player's name during a game, maybe their statistics to that point, full screen graphics as we call them, with high school rankings or standings, as well as what we call the score bug. And that is when you turn into a game wanting to know what the score is, how much time is left. It's right there on your screen pretty much all the time. That happens here at this station as well. So graphics, obviously a huge part of watching a game or an event that we produce here at CCX. So there you have it. Now you know a little bit more about what goes into the production of a CCX event. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm John Jacobson.
Here at Armstrong Stadium in Plymouth, Bill Hupp alongside Sid Ligry, and we are at halftime. Totino-Grace with a 1-goal lead over the Armstrong Falcons, courtesy of a Jenna Brandt or Caitlin Brandt goal, assisted by Lydia Bierantz, in a first half that was really dominated possession-wise by Totino-Grace. They had more possessions, more opportunities, and really had the field tilted in their direction, and they enjoy a 1-goal lead here at halftime. As we take a look at the standings in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and a lot of teams tied with a game in hand. Blaine on top via goal difference, but Totino-Grace right there, and Armstrong also technically tied for first place right now.
So it's all bunched up at the top.
Absolutely, and then of course the opponents that they defeated in that first game. So Totino-Grace and Armstrong will play all of these teams this season, just conference opponents in their 11-game regular season schedule.
So is that a shock, Maple Grove losing one?
Yeah, well, Centennial's tough, so it's but new season, and it's hard to predict year to year with kids.
Yep. You can't even predict mid-year or end-year sometimes.
Right, absolutely. As we get set to take a look at some highlights in those conference schedules, standings will obviously change over the course of the year. First half highlights, and the passing and the interplay between for Totino-Grace was just really outstanding. Spent a lot of time in the Armstrong half and put a lot of shots on net.
Yeah, they put quite a few shots on net. Not most of them were not with a whole lot of thrust behind it, but they still got there.
They're shots from distance in a lot of cases, and Armstrong, to their credit, really jammed up the middle and made it difficult for them to get clean shots, but they nonetheless did create opportunities. And then here's the goal right here, a beautiful cross by Bierantz, and Brandt taps it home.
And you're right, Bierantz did stumble at the end of that, but it connected properly and it went into the goal area.
Kind of a greasy goal as we look at the halftime stats, and as we talked about the domination of Totino-Grace, Eagles out shooting the Falcons 10-1, 6 shots on goal, 3 corner kicks, and obviously Coach Thibodeau hopes to see more of the same in the second half.
Yeah, and the good news for Armstrong, they're only 1 goal behind.
Absolutely, yeah. And with Bloom's free kicking ability, it's always possible.
It can happen.
And it's soccer, and if you keep it close, you can snag one at the end. And the rules this year, no overtime. So if you earn a draw after 80 minutes of soccer, that's the result. So we will step aside, and when we come back, we'll have second half action for you from Armstrong Stadium. You are watching NWSC Girls Soccer on CCX.
Who's most at risk for coronavirus? People over 65, people with underlying medical conditions like heart disease, chronic lung disease, asthma, diabetes, people undergoing cancer treatment, and people with weakened immune systems. What should you do if you or a loved one is at higher risk? Avoid close contact with people, avoid crowds, stay home if you can, wash your hands frequently. Learn more ways to protect yourself and others at coronavirus.gov.
Robbinsdale Armstrong gathering in a huddle as Coach Kari Torgerson fires up her team, making Jenna Bloom, among others, laugh as the two teams get set to retake the field and start the second half here from Armstrong Stadium. Obviously flips, so Totino-Grace going left to right in this second half, and they'll have the kickoff to start things.
Actually, Armstrong can be very happy. They've been outplayed the entire first half, but they're only down, like as we said, 1 goal. They're in the game. They have a good offense. It's a matter of getting things to click and get a goal and get the equalizer up there.
Yeah, no question about it. And there's something really to be said about a coach that can keep her team confident and loose, especially a young team.
Yes.
That might find itself feeling down, being down 1-0 at half. But they seem like they're in it and willing to fight, as Caitlin Brandt, the goal scorer, scored 8 minutes rather into. Scored at the 32-minute mark, so right. With 8 minutes left before half, late first half, she will get things underway for the Eagles as dusk setting in here in Plymouth, and we've got a stoppage because some shoes are not tied.
2 of them.
Senior night activities at halftime, which is pretty unusual for the first home game of the year. But then again, Sig, as we talked about, really nothing about this year is usual.
Nothing is. I'm just delighted that we're here watching a good game, watching any game.
Yeah, no question about it. So we're just going to start again from the center circle as...
might as well. It's kind of
they might just put 40 back up on the clock.
That's what he's indicating.
Yeah. So
there
Brandt
we go.
will restart things now that everybody's shoes are on and tied.
He got so excited to get on the field, he forgot to tie the shoes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not entirely sure why they were off in the first place, but no matter. We're back to action here. And again, just like the first half, Totino-Grace quickly on the front foot. Izzy Anderson plays it wide. Savard over there. Laney gets to it in front of her own bench, plays it back. Number 9, Mary Blaska, she'll go all the way back.
And they're fine with that. They'll just go back and reset.
Hannah Glam, who really didn't have much to do in that first half, barely touched the ball, plays it to Ling. Through the middle of the park for Laney. Oh, beautiful play, and Ling picks it up. Emily Ling, big collision with Sydney Smith, who comes off her line, and Smith is shaken up, and they're going to stop play, and rightly so, as Smith is down. Emily Ling just streaked through the middle of the park and nearly poked it past, and Smith is...
watch this effort right here.
Unbelievable. She just takes the ball past Bloom.
2, and then collides with Smith.
Big collision as Smith comes out, and hopefully she's okay. And that heavy touch right there was what ended up kind of getting away from her. The junior goalkeeper showing a lot of toughness and a lot of poise to come off her line and make the save.
Yeah, she's still hurting a little bit, but she's going to fight through it.
Stays in there. Terhar, as Miller's back heel doesn't come off. Speaking of the back heel, we saw that passage of play a couple times in the first half with Totino-Grace and played it on the overlap and just beautifully done. Great team soccer as Brandt picks it up and has space to carry. Nobody closes her down, so she just takes it. Now she'll go wide. Cutting back inside, and then it's cut out, as Morelik clears the danger.
I think Armstrong is marking up a little bit tighter.
Yeah, well, I think they understand that you can't let Totino-Grace just pass through the triangles and just kind of work their way up the field.
At will, yeah.
Yeah, they're too skilled to let them have that much time and space on the ball.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about in the first half, is if they can figure out a way to get somebody in either in the passing zone or attack the ball quicker.
Ling brings it down, but heavy touch. It's taken back by number 15, Rosie Turrison. Again, the backfield, which is considered to be the strength of this Eagles team, really didn't have much to do in the first half. As Tori Thomas carries it in deep, and then it's cleared by Totino-Grace. But and a quick substitution is especially Coach Torgerson going deep into her bench. As Chloe Bowick trots on. Smith has remained in the game, seems to be hanging in there after coming out and making that really tough save to deny Ling on an opportunity. And that's, again, what we talked about, possession and chances, but not much in the way of actual shots that have tested Smith because she's been so decisive. Bloom, big collision. Stolen by Behrens, up for Brandt, but only as far as Anderson. Toe poked ahead. Brandt lays it off for Behrens. What a nice job by the freshman to step up, Bella Bocock.
See, this is more like it. Go back and forth, get the takeaways.
Yeah, game's started to open up here for sure. As this is number 50, Rory Benson. She drops it back. Square for Maddie Orstand. Here's an opportunity and a shot. Oh, just wide. No, they score.
Did it go underneath the net?
I'm not sure, but the way that Robbinsdale Armstrong is celebrating,
they think it's a goal.
They think it's a goal.
I haven't seen an official signal from.
I haven't either, and he's going over to the linesman.
Watch this.
Armstrong, number 31, Libby Plath.
Libby Plath was in there. Great pass by. Yeah, it went through a hole in the net.
There's a hole in the net. That's what.
That's why. What a pass by Kendall Thurston. And then what a finish by Libby Plath. And we apologize for the confusion, folks, but there's a hole in the net, which shouldn't happen. They're supposed to check that before the game.
Before each half, the referees go out there and check those nets.
And Plath at the 4-minute mark has tied this soccer game at 1 between Robbinsdale Armstrong and Totino-Grace. And when I saw it trickle out the back of the net, I thought she dragged it wide, and then they all celebrated. And so it was like, hang on a second. Thankfully, we have replay here on CCX. Emily Ling drags it wide, now cuts it back, trying to get some space. Cross, and Smith just needed a touch at the near post. Brandt, I believe, was running near post. But Smith cradles the ball.
So we have a new game.
We do indeed, and we talked about the brighter start for Armstrong. Totino-Grace caught napping at the back, and credit to Armstrong for countering quickly, and Plath for finishing coolly. Totino-Grace will try to play it up the left wing. As 2 subs set to come on for Armstrong, Bocock and Jones to return, taking out the goal scorer in Plath. Getting a big fake high five from her coach. Huge smile from the junior as the junior striker just converted so coolly.
She's beaming.
Absolutely, and she should. As
absolutely wonderful.
Coolly finished past Lehman. And you talked about the spirit and tenacity of this Robbinsdale Armstrong team, and they may have much fewer shots and corners and possession, but it doesn't really matter right now. We're knotted at 1.
No, we were saying when they were on the sideline, huddled around the coach, they were smiling and laughing, having a good time.
Yeah, it's like they were saying, hey, we're still in this.
Yeah, and they are more than in it. They're tied.
Absolutely. We've got a game as Miller on the turn. Tries to loft across, and a nice job by McAllister coming over. Miller, big collision with McAllister. Brandt comes back nicely, and this is the physicality we talked about. Behrens plays it wide. And getting there first is an Armstrong defender as McAllister chops it away. So critical to have captains like Bloom and McAllister in the backfield, really tidying things up. As Miller will throw it in. Bounding, but absolutely no white shirts in there.
There was one white shirt semi-close. The other 5 were red.
Beerant's throwing herself all about. And it's been a really cleanly played game. Just as I say that, they call a foul. But they had one foul a piece by my... No, I guess Totino-Grace had a couple fouls in that first half. But it's been a relatively cleanly played game.
Yeah, there were 3 each.
3 apiece, okay.
But not much in terms of anything that was big.
Nothing that I could remember clearly.
No, they were just normal.
Bloom pounds it forward. And again, Armstrong with more time and possession in the Totino-Grace offensive half. Booted forward for Brandt to sprint after.
Oh, a little
Brandt,
push in the back.
Big shove. Play on, says the ref, as Anderson was the recipient of that forearm. Beerant's trying to direct traffic. Flicked on by Brandt to the near post. Anderson can't clear it. Sharp angle shots. Smith saves it, and it's swept in.
Wow. How about being in the right place at the right time?
I believe that was Lauren Miller, who was, or beg your pardon,
Terhar.
That was Kayla Terhar, the sophomore midfielder, who was right there. And Anderson, you see here, tries to clear it. And then a sharp angle shot.
Yep,
Smith makes the save, and Terhar sweeps it home.
Right. The keeper pushes the ball down and not able to hold it. Watch it again.
Right into the path.
Good hard shot, and then it came loose, and the easy pickup.
And Terhar makes it 2-1. Another 1-goal lead now for Totino-Grace. As she scores at the roughly the 7:20 mark of the second half. So just a couple minutes after Armstrong tied this game, Terhar cleans up the rebound. And again, credit to hard shots on net. I mean,
that's where
Smith made a nice save, but right into the path as Jones charging forward. Jones warded off, and
she gets a corner out of it.
Her shot gets deflected off of Hannah Glam and out of play, and it's the kind of, that industry gets rewarded.
There's no quit. That's great.
So a goal from the near corner.
Yeah, and this should naturally go in towards the goal area.
Yeah, with a right-footed taker.
See if she gets a banana ball out of it. Goes pretty straight. Headed back out again. And
a beautiful ball to the back post, and comes back out again and out of play. But excellent corners. Now it's going to be a throw this time from the near side, and they earned another corner. And all of a sudden, Armstrong is equal to Totino-Grace in terms of corners. And those corner kicks have been very impressive, very powerful. Coach Torgerson, you can see at the bottom of the screen, directing traffic. Another in-swinger, loose in front. Bodies clogging the 6-yard box, and ultimately it goes out of play for a goal kick.
And a big sigh of relief on the Totino-Grace defense, because the Armstrong offense was just pounding away at them.
Yeah, Emma Lehman just wondering where that ball was going to end up.
Yeah,
that thicket of players.
That's a keeper's nightmare. You have all those people in front of you, the ball moving all over the place. You don't know who's making contact.
Yep, off of McAllister, so it's going to be a throw, which Totino-Grace will try to quickly take. Brandt. Bloom comes over. Miller wants a long shot. It's bounding. Brandt is right there, and a good job of shielding her off by Chloe Bowick. And Smith comes out to collect the danger, but so many times that ball has been right there,
yes.
And Totino-Grace lurking.
Yes.
Here they are again as Miller, the captain, plays a through ball. McAllister's going to get there first. and played away from Terhar and to the near side. Terhar, the difference, her goal. Less than 7 minutes into this second half, the difference in the game thus far. Another throw from the near corner for Miller.
A little short.
And again, miscommunication on the part of Robbinsdale Armstrong's defense. Miller again crosses it, but there's not as much in the way of bodies in the 6-yard box. It's all kind of outside, on the perimeter of the penalty area for Totino-Grace, which
seems that way, doesn't it?
And I think if they had a few more white jerseys up front in the box, they might have collected 1 or 2 of those rebounds. They're on the attack again, however. Played for Brandt, cut out and then swept away by Maddie Orstad.
At that time, they had the bodies up front into the box area.
Flicked on by Ling for Brandt to get a toe to, and she does.
Oh, wow.
Wow, what a fox in the box. Caitlin Brandt just lurking and toe poking 2 goals, and it's 3-1 to Totino-Grace. And Brandt, again, just right place, right time, reading the play, and she just gets a touch, and that's all she needed.
That's all you need. That ball just dribbled in there ever so gently.
And when I use the British term fox in the box, it's a striker who just knows where to be in terms of the positions and has a knack for instinctively scoring goals. And
she has that.
She certainly does. Caitlin Brandt, the junior striker, with 2 tallies tonight, and it's a 3-1 to Totino-Grace lead.
The Armstrong fans are a little bit quiet right now, but don't forget this Armstrong team does have the capacity to come back, and they've shown that.
Well, and credit to Ling as well for playing a really, really nice ball.
Yes.
And letting Brandt run onto it. And I think these kids just really know how to play with each other in terms of reading how far they can play the ball ahead and understanding when they're going to make the runs. There's just a lot of team chemistry, and you can tell. Played near side here from Molly Vance.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Oh, good job by McAllister. I mean, well tackled.
We're watching some of these Totino-Grace players who have great individual skills, but they're also good team players. They know where their team player is going to be, and they can anticipate.
A nice job stepping up by Bowick to prevent the danger.
Yeah, they stopped that attack.
Brandt was looking for her 3rd. She's on a hat trick. Oh, beautiful little 1-2, and once again, Totino-Grace has numbers 3-on-2. Red jerseys recover. Brandt steps inside.
Smart play here. Bring the ball back when you don't have an opportunity. If you don't have a good shot set up,
don't force
bring it back.
Yep, Thurston tracking back from her striker position to defend. Brandt again on the turn.
Nobody there. It'll be an easy pickup for Smith.
Smith scoops it up. 14 minutes into second half action. Lots of goals in this half. 2 for Totino-Grace, 1 for Robbinsdale Armstrong, and the Eagles have a 2-goal lead. As again, McAllister comes up, never goes beyond that halfway line, but certainly doesn't mind carrying it out from her defensive end.
Good patience.
Thomas has that.
Thomas did the right thing. She's patient, waited for the play to come to her, then make her attack.
Brandt, very confident right now with 2 goals. She carries it through the midfield, plays it wide. Or Celia Savard, whose name we called quite a bit in the first half. Haven't heard as much from her in the second half. Or Laney, who has the ball now. Through Brandt. Plays it off for Terhart, but Bloom cuts it out. Terhart pressured by McAllister. Again, that higher press for Robbinsdale Armstrong is paying dividends. You aren't seeing Totino-Grace get as comfortable as deep and close to the Robbinsdale Armstrong goal. McAllister makes a nice move, or Tori Thomas rather, makes a nice move. And they'll have a throw.
Falcons on the move.
Little 1-2. Drop back, and again, Totino-Grace playing those triangles. Punched forward, and Smith decides to come out of her box and boot it away wisely. Again, like nice 1-2s with Terhar and Vance. Brandt. Big collision. Oh, nice move by Laney. Laney gets free. Laney wants a shot, and it's a one bouncer right into Smith's arms. Laney just has such quick feet that in tight spaces she can dribble around players, and it's not something you necessarily see a lot at this level, as we've got a stoppage and a couple substitutions for
and not only
Robbinsdale.
not only making that play, but then having the ability to get a good shot off with some oomph behind
with
it.
With some pace, as we just saw Sydney Smith take a well-deserved water break. She's had to work all game, including this half, and she's taken her lumps for it too.
I'm just wondering how much she's still aching.
Yeah, from that one collision. Well,
that was a nasty collision. She was definitely feeling that.
Oh, no doubt about it.
But she's a trooper. She stays in there and made some good saves.
Yeah, it has not seemingly affected her aggressiveness in terms of coming out and playing those 50-50 balls just out of the reach of Vance.
Yeah, Vance not happy. That's not how we do things. We normally connect on those passes.
Yeah, well, you can't always make those 1-2s, as Bloom and Vance tied up. Two of the taller players on the pitch. Punched forward. And Jones comes down to play that. And this time it'll be a substitution on the far side for Totino-Grace that stops play.
Ling goes out.
Captain Miller who returns. 21 replacing 20.
And Ling deserves a rest. She's been pretty busy.
Oh, yeah. Laney goes back, and they keep their defensive shape really, really well. Very well balanced across the back.
Right, they stay at home.
Playing that 4-5-1 for Thibodeau, Coach Thibodeau tonight.
Even though if they're 40, 45 yards up, they're still in their formation, and they stay home.
McAllister can't clear it. Miller gets it back on the one-timer and splits the uprights. But again, right idea. They're just playing some nice soccer, just in terms of flowing and fluid.
Yep.
Caitlin Brandt goals at the 32 and 52 minute marks.
Well, they haven't hit it. Excuse me.
No, go for it. Excuse me.
They even though they have the shots, if you look at their on-goal percentage for the match, it's 62%. That's
pretty
not
good.
bad.
That's pretty good. That's efficient for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't say Brandt. Her goals were necessarily the highlight of the highlight variety, but they all count.
They go in. They may not be forceful, but they are strategically placed, and they go in.
Play on, says the ref, as Brandt trying to track another one down, and a nice job. Strategic defensive positioning to keep Brandt from troubling the goalkeeper, Smith. Just about midway through this second half, as we have a foul whistled here around midfield. The goal scorer, Libby Plath, the guilty party there. And another thing Coach Torgerson talked about in talking to her before the game is she noted the talented newcomers and the underclassmen. She also talked about the great leadership and team chemistry, and said the upperclassmen had really bought in despite the change in coaches. And so she credited them for keeping team spirit up, as McAllister powers forward from her fullback position looking for Plath. That's cut out. Tori Thomas can't control it. McAllister tracks back and drops it for Bloom. It's hooked on. And then Miller.
Boy, I love their step around passing.
Yep. Yeah, that just a lot of one and two touch passing, as we've talked about, as Bowick tries to clear up the side. It just really doesn't give a defense much time to react when you are moving the ball that quickly.
Yeah, and if you try, they catch them a little bit off in their time, and boom, they stepped around you and they're on the way behind you.
Totino-Grace with numbers once more. Cutting inside on her right foot, and it's blocked by Bloom. There's another shot by Terhar, and that goes wide. Carolini, who you just saw, had 2 goals against Elk River. Off the score sheet tonight, but her team with a comfortable 2-goal lead with just inside 19 minutes left to play in the game. And Totino-Grace showing no signs of letting up offensively.
No, they've been able to gauge exactly where Smith's goal kicks are going to be coming to.
Yep, Bloom doing a nice job. Good hesitation by Savard. She gets it back and carries it. Celia Savard wants a shot, and Smith is right behind it and makes the comfortable catch. But Savard testing her from distance.
And sometimes that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
They've been getting rebounds, so why not?
Yeah, and if you hit a shot with enough dip and swerve, it's tough to handle sometimes. Plenty of time for Blaska to track this one down. And they'll once again try to play it out the back. And they will do so with Laney, who is so tough. Flag stays down. On the near side, Vance battling with McAllister. And McAllister forces Vance wide and forces the throw.
That's probably a good idea. Give the defense a chance to regroup. But Totino-Grace just relentless on attack.
Yep, Miller put it into a speculative area in the middle, but no one was home, and McAllister can't clear. Vance, her pass intercepted by Thurston.
But still unable to get it out of the defensive zone, so they're still playing primarily defense.
A beautiful through ball, Sydney Smith off her line to collect that one ahead of Durant's. They love just playing that run, that diagonal run through the middle.
Yeah, and it's
played in the channel, and
well, I love the redirect kicks. They give a short pass forward, a redirect, and the pass back, and it just keeps moving all the time. It's got to drive the defense insane to try and
because they deal with it, and then they've got to reorganize and play it again because it comes right back the same way.
Here's a good defensive takeaway.
Jones has it knocked away from her, and Miller counters. Miller tries to play a ball for Vance. Bloom trying to shield her off. It's not going to run to the end line, so Bloom has to handle it. Vance pressuring her, and Bloom does a nice job to get away and clear the danger.
Finally get it past midfield.
And once again, Blaska forced to clean up in the back.
Yep. That's the right thing to do. If you're outnumbered like that, get the ball over the touchline.
And the Eagles, as you see on the schedule right here, visiting Anoka and then hosting Andover on Friday. It's a Tuesday-Friday fixture list for the rest of the season, and then in a couple Tuesdays they'll head to Park Center. Each of their next 3 games at 5 o'clock, so we'll have to deal with the sun. But on the bright side, it might be a little warmer at that time.
Let's see, next week
as fall advances.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cooler next week, so we'll see.
That's what I heard too. Laney through the midfield. Totino-Grace on the break. Oh, and a good job toe poking it away. Once again, McAllister and Bloom have been so stout in the backfield. Vance, her shot deflected down by McAllister. Carried out by Orstad. And here comes Bloom charging forward from her fullback position. Jenna Bloom, one of the captains, going wide. And she just looks exhausted. She's worked her socks off tonight.
She's staying in the middle of the field, just hands on her hip, now bent forward, just out of gas.
Yeah, she has just battled all night.
I think they're going to sub her and get her a breather, because she's not going to be effective if she's that tired.
Yeah, Tori Thomas will replace her, but she has worked her socks off tonight. Worthy of the captain's armband for sure.
Number 6, Jenna Bloom, had a great game, just needs a rest, poor girl.
Tori Thomas comes on and will take that backfield role as McAllister will move central, and they're really just playing, almost looks like 3 in the back. I guess it's more like 4.
Yeah, I think it's 3 with a floater.
Yep. Near side for Vance with plenty of time. And Vance will pump it forward.
Good stop.
Brandt in the middle, who really has been the player of the match for Totino-Grace. I mean, her and Laney have really controlled things, and Brandt has been as opportunistic as you expect from a striker. Burance can't get through.
Good defensive stop. See, now here's an issue that I've been noticing when Totino-Grace comes down and Armstrong's in their defense. They got 2 players up on top against 3 or 4. So when the ball does come up, just the probability is like just a numbers game.
Yeah.
So now they got 1 up, and Totino-Grace still has 3 back. So unless they place the ball right to their upright person, Totino-Grace is going to drill the ball right back in again.
Yeah, or the midfield pushes up and balances out the numbers. There's a long shot that's blocked down by McAllister. Thurston clears it near side.
Yep, and you called it. Midfielder will come up and bring the ball down.
Hard charging. Good job by Sarah Osborne to track back, but she fouls. So now Totino-Grace, let's see what they do with this, but again with an opportunity from about 40 yards. Quick restart. And Thurston turns and boots it upfield and clears the danger. 12-12 and counting left to go, second half. 3-1 Eagles lead as they get set to make 2 substitutions.
Molly Vance goes out. She's had a good game.
Yeah, she has. She has been impactful coming off the bench too, so an impact sub, as they say. And now we're seeing some appearances for the first time by Kate Olson. So now Coach Thibodeau going into his bench.
As well, get your fresh players in there.
Kendall Thurston carrying it out. And a good job by Laney recovering. She's just always there to get the ball back in the possession of Totino-Grace in the midfield. Now they're back on the attack. Little 1-2. Square for Brandt.
Bring it back.
Dropped back.
Shot.
Yep.
I mean, it's predictable.
Yep.
It's getting predictable.
And why not if you're Laney from there at this point?
Yeah, like I said, like we just said, you can always get the rebound. If nothing else, you're pushing the defense back again.
You're confident you can get the goal kick back.
Yep.
Controlled well by Maddie Orsted. She'll carry it past the Falcon, and then it's cut out in the middle of the park by Cecilia Savard, but then stolen.
How did she get that pass underneath her foot?
A lot of very skilled players on this pitch tonight for both teams.
Yes.
Pumped forward, and it runs out on the near side.
The Eagles throwing it.
Drop back for Tori Thomas. Near side now. Armstrong playing the triangles a little bit. hoping to let this one run out, and it does. And that ultimately is just smart defending.
Yep.
Knowing positionally where you are in relation to the end line, to the goalie.
And strategically taking more time off the clock.
Yep. One by Bloom in the midfield. Punched forward and coming off her line to scoop it up is Lehman. Yeah, and Totino-Grace really have a nice mix of senior leadership with Lauren Miller and Lehman in the back and Bierantz, but then also a lot of really talented sophomores and juniors. So it's a well-balanced roster.
Yeah,
that should ensure the Eagles are pretty good for the foreseeable future.
I agree totally. They have the individual skill sets, and they have a good mix of youth and the senior level. But I think it goes back to the coaching and the training, knowing where to be. When you watch these passes, you can almost telegraph it. You know it's going to be one touch, two touch, return pass, bring it up again, bring it back again, shot.
Yeah, it's pretty predictable, but they've got a system, and it's obvious Coach Thibodeau has them well drilled in it because they run it really well.
Yeah, and the problem for the defense is you have no idea what side is going to come down.
Great pass for Olsen, and McAllister recovers nicely and kicks it out. Forces a corner on the near side for the Eagles as Miller comes down to take it. It's a great ball by Laney finding Olsen streaking down the right wing.
Yeah,
Olsen, her first touch of the game.
Sorry, I believe that's the first corner in the second half.
Yep, for Totino-Grace, absolutely.
Grace.
Miller with the left-footed in-swinger. Olsen gets there first, back out to Miller. She'll punch it near post.
And
One more try.
It's still alive.
Rosie Turrison got a shot on it as well, but eventually it was cleared as we are late second half. All the goals coming in the first 10 minutes. Miller pounds it far post. McAllister trying to settle things down in the backfield for Armstrong. Punched forward. McAllister just underneath her foot. Taken down by Bloom. Glam coming down from her fullback position, now trying to recover. She gets a boot on that one. Oh, great strength from Ling to ward off the pressure of Bella Bocock. Back come Totino-Grace. Olsen drops it off. It's cut out. Looking for Brandt. Bloom is there. She hammers it forward. And now we have a whistle and a stoppage in play.
We have an injury.
And we have an injury. Upcoming telecast here on CCX Sports. Lake Conference girls swimming 2 days from now. And then next week, more Northwest Suburban Conference girls and boys soccer, Maple Grove at Champlin Park. Sig, you'll be there for that one, and that should be a dandy.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Two of the programs that we talked about earlier tonight have had storied success. Champlin Park and Maple Grove.
Yes.
Both of them appearing in the state quarterfinals for the girls.
It's no love lost between the two teams.
No. It's a derby, as they say in soccer.
By the way, the injured player was number 19. Maddie Orsted came off for Armstrong.
Yep, she came off under her own power, so hopefully she's okay.
Hobbling a little bit, so that's a good sign. She's
Miller
on her own.
Up for Brandt, wide. And the offside flag, I believe, is up. Do you remember another offside tonight? I think that might be our first.
That's our first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First
you're
offside.
Right. I have not seen one.
And the reason I bring it up, because I saw a bunch of them last night, clearly a halftime adjustment where the team started playing a high line and you saw like 5 or 6 offsides in the second half, and I was like, I think that's a tactical choice to play that higher line.
Okay.
And sure enough, it ended up working out for that team. But yeah, first one, and that's a beautiful through ball, not offside. Olsen gets to the byline, cuts it back. And again, well defended by Armstrong. Back to Olsen. Looks to put a cross in, and it hits off the back of Thomas. Good recovery, battling there by Orsted.
Still controlling the ball. That's amazing.
Yeah, and they're still playing those long balls, looking to get a fourth goal. Terhar, who broke the deadlock of 1-1 with a great rebound finish. Couldn't get the shot in that time. Inside 4 minutes to play, second half here from Armstrong Stadium in Plymouth. Boys game ended 0-0. Luckily, in the girls game, we got goals. And, you can tell the players are starting to have some tired legs out there, some cramping.
Like we've been saying for all the teams so far this year, they have not had a strong summer program.
Nope.
Which would get them into shape, because you can do all the conditioning and exercise you want. The real conditioning for soccer players to play the game.
Yep, no question. And it's a still early season. I mean, this is obviously the second game for both teams.
Right.
So Totino-Grace will improve to 2-0 on the season. Armstrong will fall to 1-1 in Northwest Suburban Conference play.
Yep, that's barring we don't get a miracle in the last 3 minutes.
Yes, I suppose I shouldn't count chickens.
I have seen that happen.
Callister will take this free kick from inside her own half.
But I think with the skill set that we're watching so far, Totino-Grace will be possessing the ball, passing it just like they've done the entire match.
Jenna Bloom continuing to work so hard defensively.
Yeah, she got in there that time. She figured out where the passing is coming to.
Yeah, Ling wants a shot from distance, and no trouble for Smith. But again, credit to the Armstrong Falcons for really putting a fight up in the second half, especially in the early going.
Yeah, they came out really strong in the first 10 minutes of the second half and kept Totino-Grace at bay.
Oh, great little 1s-2s being played up the sideline by Bierantz and Savard. There's more mass substitutions for Robbinsdale Armstrong. And just as much credit to Totino-Grace. They conceded that goal, tie game. And how did they respond? 2 goals in the next 5 minutes to effectively distance themselves from their opponent. So,
yeah, they just kicked it up a notch. They didn't back off and say, "Oh, darn it, we gave up a goal." It's like, "Oh, okay,
there's no loss of confidence."
Yeah, we know what to do.
Well, and it was just doing exactly what they had done all game, just continuing to press and put balls in dangerous areas. And star of tonight's show, Caitlin Brandt, ran onto 2 of those balls and converted them.
Yeah, you don't have to kick it 80 miles an hour either, do you?
No. A simple toe poke that's aimed right will do just fine. So we're inside of a minute to go in the game. Eagles on top 3-1. Ling carries it forward. Plays it wide for Miller, and McAllister sprinting hard but can't keep it in play. Olsen in the middle. Olsen moving forward. Olsen shoots, and a great save by Smith. Outstanding save to keep Katie Olsen off the score sheet. Watch this, Sig. Cuts inside, and a terrific save. I think that might have been going wide anyway.
I think it would have, but when you're a keeper, you don't take that chance. When the ball comes close to you, you get it out of there.
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
This one ends 3-1 in favor of Totino-Grace. They go on the road to Plymouth and earn their second straight Northwest Suburban Conference win of the season to move to 2-0. Goals in the first and second half from Caitlin Brandt, the junior striker, the difference ultimately as they applaud their fans. Very well played, entertaining game of soccer here tonight in Plymouth.
It was indeed. I was really impressed. Both teams having great skill. Both teams having good chances. But if you look at Totino-Grace, the overall balance, the team passing, complete cooperation with your fellow teammates. No one's trying to be a hero. They know that the best way to win the game is to pass to somebody who can get the shot in.
No question.
And they're very good at it.
Very unselfish. I mean, you look at how they worked their way up the wings and through the middle, and always looking to play that diagonal through ball. And ultimately, 2 of the 3 goals were assisted tonight. Brandt tapped in both of them, and that was the difference as Robbinsdale Armstrong put up a fight but fell tonight at home by a final of 3-1 to Totino-Grace.